And this world that we're living in, it's always been dark and full of corruption and confusion. And as it relates to this transgender issue that I've been addressing on my channel, we've been seeing more and more of it being just pushed upon us as an agenda is being unveiled to really, I believe, strip us of our First Amendment rights as Americans. That this transgender bathroom bills and all the talk about giving equal rights to the transgender population seems to be irrelevant, or something that we can just kind of step aside and say, well, to each their own. But if you follow this thing through to its logical conclusion, you see that it's not some small thing. I believe the transgender people are being used as pawns by government powers that really just want to undermine the Constitution further and advance a lawlessness that is ultimately aimed at God's natural created order. So I see these transgender bills going through, and as a man who has battled with this, I believe God has called me to some degree to stand for truth. And it's been quite a battle, even though I have walked in great freedom and sustained freedom for a couple of years now. It is a daily effort, and I have to continue to stay vigilant and keep my eyes on the Lord. I do walk in freedom, but it's a battle, and I believe it's because the enemy is trying to take me out. Not that I have some idea of grandeur, like if I don't stand for this, then God's ways are going to fall by the wayside. Certainly not. But God does use men to speak truth, to give their testimony, and to be able to stand and occupy until He returns. So these transgender bills that are going through, there's these sort of skirmishes in North Carolina that I think the media is trying to hijack the national narrative to where maybe before President Obama's tenure is up, they'll be able to pass an Equality Act through Congress. And the Equality Act is perhaps one of the most dangerous pieces of legislation that I know of. Basically, it takes INDA, the Employment Non-Discrimination Act, back in the 60s, and it basically radically overhauls that and extends it through all. I don't even know the implications of how it will affect all of law and regular everyday life. But basically what this does is it inserts the transgender population as a protected class, the same as sex, race, religion, age, religious affiliation. The transgender will be effectively on equal grounds, and should anybody have any other ways of wanting to conduct business or conduct education, or I really don't know where this is going to go, I could be prosecuted by the law simply because I don't want someone in the classroom promoting this agenda, or I don't want to hire somebody that's going to represent my company in that way. It's not that because I wouldn't do that right now, I'm somehow being hateful. It's just I have a freedom to do that in this country, and my belief in God prevents me from being able to agree with that and promote it. But the law of the United States is soon to become contrary to God's law. And so the short of it is, we don't need to be afraid. It's important that we're informed, though, and while the time is still here that we can speak up and make a difference in elections, and within a free country we can actually exercise those freedoms, I just encourage you men out there who are in this battle with me to stand strong. The enemy's trying to take you out and trying to make you one of his pawns as he rolls out this deception even further. As for me and my house, we're going to serve the Lord. Love you guys. Bye-bye.